Hey everybody, this is Deeps with an additional video to my Frost New World Info and Tips remake. I took a pretty long break from WoW for the summer and work, but I've been back in the game now for a few weeks. And not much has changed since the last patch I played, but I do have a few additional tips and info about Frost New World DPSing. So let's get rolling. First off, everything is pretty much the same from my older 3.2 video, like slow weapons, stat priority, rotations, and glyphs. So if you haven't seen that video yet, click the following link here and it will take you to that video and catch you up to speed on things. The biggest change I had seen was the Endless Winter and Unbreakable Armor update, where Endless Winter now giving you an extra 4% strength, and Unbreakable Armor now granting 20% strength for 20 seconds. When I saw these, I just had to grab them for the extra DPS, but I had to sacrifice Virulence, the 3% spell hit, for my Howling Blast. So to compensate, I just had to stack a little extra hit than normal to make sure that I was able to stick my Frost Fever on bosses. So the spec I use has changed ever so slightly, only taking out 3 points in Virulence to place them in Endless Winter and Unbreakable Armor. Another change that I had read up upon while studying the Frost changes was that Rhyme now only procs off of your main hand's ability damage, where before you had 2 chances per Obliterate thanks to the threat of the Saurian talent to proc that tasty free Howling Blast. So the chance went from 30% down to 15%, which isn't a huge loss, but it just makes Frost even more dynamic than it really was to begin with. And finally, another awesome change was the Razor Frost rune now applies 2% Frost vulnerability every hit at a max of 10%, so no more worrying about Razor Frost falling off your target. So now on to a few tips to help maximize your DPS potential. I myself like to carry around 2 offhands, one with Razor Frost and one with the Cinder Glacier. The reason being is I switched to Razor Frost, my offhand with Razor Frost, for bosses, and I usually switch back to Cinder Glacier for trash and AoE pulls. Why? You're not going to auto-attack every single trash mob in a pull to give them all the plus 10% frost damage, are you? Of course not. You'll want Cinder Glacier and just give you the 20% frost damage proc on your next 2 frost attacks, saving you time and effort. I found it easiest to just make 2 macros, one that equips my offhand with Razor Frost, and the other equips my offhand with Cinder Glacier. Another DPS tip I have to offer is my Burst macro. I use this at the beginning of boss fights because it gives me a dramatic increase in DPS right from the start, and then I'm able to use it again throughout the fight for extra boosts of damage when I need it. So if you can catch it in the video, the macro is pretty simple, using Unbreakable Armor along with Blood Tap so that you don't lose that Frost rune, so you can still use that Obliterate or Howling Blast right in the beginning. And then whatever DPS trinket you may have, if you have one. If not, then just leave it out of the macro. I also recently added the Potion of Haste to the macro that increased the macro's effectiveness substantially, making me swing faster while all the buffs were on me, maximizing my DPS potential before they all fell off. I did get a lot of comments asking me in my previous video why I didn't use Plague Strike or apply Blood Plague. In short, that's just not what this spec is. This spec and build only requires Frost Fever, while the other dual-wield build uses both diseases. To explain briefly, the damage over time the Blood Plague does comes out to about equal, if not less, than an extra Obliterate you would get out of this build. So with the spec you get much more Obliterates, making up the lost damage from not having the Blood Plague dot and the extra 12% damage to Obliterate. You just do many more Obliterates with this build. And yes, I know there are two Frost Duel specs out there, one that goes with the Blood sub, and one that goes with the Unholy sub. And I found out that they're both very good. I just prefer this build because it's easier to learn, easier to handle, for me anyways. Plus, this is just me helping out all the other Frosties out there, so just cut me a break. I'm just here to help you guys out. So, I hope this short video helped you guys out, and maybe even increased your DPS a little. And as an extra bonus, I have come across some interesting news about Frost and Cataclysm, about how they may be bringing back two-handed Frost DPS. It's not final yet, but what I have read is that a new talent in the Frost tree, I forget the name, but with 3 talent points spent in it will grant, when using a two-handed weapon, you have a 45% chance on your auto attacks to gain 45 runic power. So that might be something to look into for any of you two-hander fans out there. So keep an eye out for new upcoming videos, and I hope this video helped you guys out. Please leave any questions or comments, or send me a YouTube mail, and I'll see you all in game. Thanks a lot for watching.